Affected by fracking could be in line for hundreds of thousands of pounds in compensation if any drilling takes place underneath their homes. That's one of the proposals being put forward by the government in an attempt to speed up the development of shale oil and gas extraction. Opponents have called it a bribe, as Sky's Ashish Joshi now reports.
This is some of the most beautiful countryside in Britain, but that could change. Because underneath the Weald Basin that stretches from Wiltshire to Kent lies billions of barrels of shale oil. According to the government, it's the answer to the country's energy needs.
To ignore the potential of a new source of oil onshore in Britain, down in the south of England. We can't afford to ignore that, so we are now encouraging the companies to see if they can bring it out. At the moment, it's in the ground and we don't know whether it's properly a reserve. We don't know whether we can get it out, but we do know that it would be irresponsible not to encourage the developers to try.
Vanessa Vine has been involved with an anti-fracking campaign for 3 years. She told me the process of pumping sand, water and chemicals into the ground came with serious consequences.
This is not an industry that is going to solve our energy picture without destroying our wild ecology and causing horrendous damage to human health.
The village of Balcombe was at the centre of a protest against fracking last year and is still fighting against excavation company Quadrilla. Here's what the site looks like from the air, and it's feared large swathes of countryside will be blemished with industrial plants like this. To prevent legal delays and counter opposition, the government has said the law will change and money will be paid to those affected. Energy firms will be allowed to dig 300 metres down. They won't need permission. They'll just need to notify communities and give them compensation. Those living above ground will receive a new one-off compensation payment of £20,000 per well. Each site will have multiple wells, and the government estimates that the average community will receive around £800,000, although it's unclear how the money will be distributed. And that's not the only concern about this announcement.
It's typical politicians. They choose a busy news day to bury an important piece of news that they do not widely want to be listened to, heard. It's a piece of news that could devastate the lives and the countrysides of many of their heartland supporters, Tory voters, all the way across the southeast of England.
It's not just the timing of today's announcement that's being questioned. The compensation figures and the amount of oil underground is also disputed. The one thing that is absolutely clear, according to campaigners, is the real cost of fracking to our environment. Ashish Joshi, Sky News, Balcombe.